So I've been looking at, again, I want to welcome Steve Ferrara, who came in. He, like I said, Steve has got a stock pick today for us guys that I think is going to be, you're going to go, wow, I really like that a lot. And at least I hope you do. And so, okay. So, well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Dennis Wilborn. Welcome to How to Make Money Trading Stocks and Options, plus some trading tips. Got a really great trading tip for you today also. And so let's go ahead and jump into today's session. We try to keep these sessions down to about 15 minutes, and so we'll do our best, and oftentimes they run to about 20 minutes, but we try to keep them short, sweet, to the point, so that you can be better ready to basically trade going into next week. And so let's go ahead and go. And so what do we cover? Basically, the active trend trading is a clear and simple system designed to maximize profit, minimize losses. We do it every Friday, or at least 99% of the time on Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. We cover a market index review, master trading tip, and then stock pick of the week. Remember that what we do is for training purposes. Traders should always paper trade any new method, probably the risk of their own personal capital. I'm going to jump right in basically with our trading tip for the day. You're going to want to hang around to the end of today's session because, as I said, Steve has got a great stock for you to take a look at. And I think that you will, basically, it may be a great stock for you to at least take a look at. It's not a recommendation, but it is definitely in a good setup position. The question for today in the trading tip is, does your trading plan have an edge? And if you're sitting there and you're asking yourself the question, well, one, what is my trading plan? And do I have an edge? You basically need to do some work on your trading plan. You're out there basically flying blind. And typically if you're flying blind with your trading, it will not end very pretty. So basically, simply trading stocks, ETFs, or option is not a plan. Now, this is and Steve, you may agree with this, but this is the voice of experience. When I first got started, I did not have a plan. All I knew was I wanted to trade stocks and I wanted to trade options, and so I just took the leap.
I think we all do.
I know.
After years of being knocked around, you decide maybe you need a plan.
And so after getting my face ripped off a few times, after blowing up a couple of accounts, all of a sudden I said, you know what? Something's missing here. And what it was a plan and a straight. And so if you're not trading, basically, if you don't have a plan, you're doomed to failure. I think Murphy's Law comes into play occasionally, and you may make a couple of trades, make a little bit of money or make a lot of money, similar to the people who were trading was it AMC and what was the other one? They were trading a couple of weeks ago, just making a killing. But guess what?
GME.
Yeah, most of the people who basically were in those trades, except for a few, basically hung with those trades, and guess what? The market took it all away because they weren't trading with the plan. So a trading system, planner system must have, basically have 6 pillars to it. And what are the 6 pillars? Basically, it tells you what to trade. It tells you when and where to enter, when and where to exit, what strategy you're going to use, and then what to expect, and also points out who you're going to use as your mentor or go-to person. Like it may be Dr. Elder in his book. It may be us with active trend trading. It may be Mark Douglas with trading with an edge type of guy. But you have to have those 6 pillars in place. You need a tested and proven profitable system. And what should the criteria for your system be? Here's basically what, everything I've ever studied with says that basically you need a win-loss ratio of at least 65% or higher. Why? because if your win-loss ratio is above 65%, according to Brukowski, who's the guy who did the patterns books and the candlestick patterns books and the probability of success with those, says is if your system has at least a 65% win-loss ratio, it shows that it's just not random. In other words, it's just not a coin flip. You have an edge to your system. You need a profit where your profits for an average trade, let's say you do 15 trades or let's say you do 10 trades and 7 of them are profitable and 3 of them are non-profitable. You will be exceptionally profitable if your profitable trades are at least greater than or equal to your losing trade. So if I had 3 losing trades that loses $300 each, and I have 7 profitable trades that both earn $100 each, that means I would basically have a net profit of 7 minus 3, $400. So there'd definitely be an edge. And then last one, do you have a plan? If you just want to drop a note in there, say, do you have a plan? It's just something, nothing to be embarrassed about. If you don't have a plan, it just means that, hey, you know what? I just need to do a little bit more structuring of what I'm doing. If you're watching this on YouTube, just drop in a note down in the comment section and about, do you have a plan? And if you're joining us here live, you can just say, hey, yes, I do have a plan, or yes, I'm working on my plan. I'm trying to make it better. And so that's awesome. So let's get into the rest of the day's session. At about 9 o'clock this morning, I took the temperature of the market. The active trend trading system is up about 2.71, and it builds out through the year. The indexes themselves, Russell is just on a tear. NASDAQ up nicely for the year. S&P, up so far for the year, and also the Dow also up for the year. When I see this, does it concern me that the active trend trading system is only up 2.71% compared to the markets? No, it doesn't. Why? Because long term, I know active trend trading has an edge as defined, as we defined previously, where it does, actually it hits 65 to 70% win-loss ratio. And last year, our profits were, and over the last 10 years, we usually hit about 36 to 40% profit. So, at the end of the year, I can basically feel confident that we will probably beat the indexes as we normally do. So let's go in here and jump on the, don't want to give that away. And I'm on the wrong chart here. Let me go grab the other chart. There we go. Okay, quickly, let's take a look at what's going on with the S&P. I've drawn in, this is the spiders representing the S&P, drawn in a couple of just trend channels that we're working in. As you can see, price action all this week, going back to Monday here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, have basically just gone absolutely nowhere. Now, this was an okay trading range, but as you can see, we hit the high on Wednesday. Yesterday, we get a hanging man type pattern, and today those highs are in place. Now, it may be because they're going to rest and take the in accordance with what may be happening is they're just going to take the day off on Monday, which, of course, remember, Monday is a holiday. And so the markets will not be open. So oftentimes the indexes will just march into the weekend of a 3-day weekend and do nothing. Right now, the last week, it has done nothing. Some of the other things the market's waiting on, it's a little bit news driven. It's waiting on any additional stimulus for the virus relief, and also what's going to happen with, just with the wonkiness that's going on in Washington right now. And so the Qs, basically the Qs doing the same thing. We had almost a bearish engulfing on Wednesday of the previous one. However, today we're pushing right back up into the 1272. Not a lot to write home about. When is this of interest to me? Well, one, I would be looking for, I don't have a trade to the downside, and I don't have a trigger from my system to be able to jump on a trade right now. I want to be trading off of established levels of support, which it could be dynamic, like the 8-day moving average, or this level here at 330.69. A couple of weeks ago, we did get us into, for the active trend trading autopilot service, we did get into TQQ. Did an excellent job with that. We got into TQQ as it was bouncing, coming up off of the 34-day moving average. We took out some profits there, and currently that position is up about 17% over the last a week and a half or so. IWM. And so, Steve, I see your comment there about Zillow. I would have to check it out. It did a breakout with, I follow IBD also. All of the stocks I do on my watch list are generated from the 14 premium watch list on, 14 premium watch list from IBD. And I basically generate that out and pull out the absolute cream of the crop every week and provide that to our free active trend trading members. And I call it the Power Ranked Elite list. And it's typically 15 to 20 stocks that I pull off of those, close to 500 stocks I review on Friday. So IWM is looking like, okay, got a bearish engulfing, pulling down to the 8-day. Momentum wise, looks like it wants to is basically the momentum is waning. It has not flipped over yet, because with the momentum indicators that I like to watch, let me get this real quick. The momentum indicators that I like to watch, which is the TSI and the market forecast, yes, they are rolling over. However, price action is not quite rolling over. Now, we may get a break down below it. We still have in play that this was the largest pullback that we've had since October. That was the one a couple of weeks ago. However, price actions are holding up really, really well and just driving sideways right now. So I'm looking at, here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking for prices on IWM, and which I would be then trading TNA to pull back kind of in that little box there. In that little box right there, which is about a 50 to 60% the 60% pullback, or 618 per the Fibonacci's, and so that's what we've got going with that. Steve, that's all I've got on the indexes. There's basically, I'm doing like Jesse Livermore's. I'm making money, but I'm sitting on my hands.
I'm basically in the same mode. I'm fully invested, but I have not looked at a trade for about a week.
Yeah.
I just have not needed to add in trades. Also, a comment on Steve's trade. I am in Zilix. I just cautioned Steve that we did extend it in Zillow, and we could pull back at any time. But
yeah, what's the ticker? What's the ticker on Zillow?
Z.
Oh, well, that's pretty easy. My wife's all, we're extended. Yeah,
it's a bit extended on the daily chart, so I'd be cautious. Yeah.
I mean, we got a really nice breakout, but that's a really hard run. And like I said, but then we've got a real nice gap up here too. But it was after earnings. Yeah.
It's an earnings gap. Yeah.
Here's something that's
anyway. Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
ZG.
Say again.
Is it Z or ZG?
Z. Z as in zebra.
Okay.
Just a single letter.
Okay. One of the things to keep in mind, you've got this little gap here. All that gap right there is a level of support. When you get a breakout like this, normally 65 to 75% of the time, price action will give you a retest towards the breakout. So, okay, to stay with our time.
Okay. HOLX. HOLX. I think it's setting up. I would not get into it today, but I think on Tuesday, at or near the ADMA would be a nice entry.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. One of the things, and I liked it so much, Steve, is I went ahead and put out an order for our guys. Tell me, basically, It needs to drop a little bit lower because I would like to see it below the, like it's up to 82.27 right now. And I think when I initially took the snapshot, it was down at about 82.15 or so.
Yeah, and I would love it in about an 81.20, 81 to 81.20 area. I would love it.
Yeah. So what attracted you to HOLX?
Well, it's an IBD 50 stock, so I do monitor that list on a daily basis, and it's one of the few things that today is looking very close to a trade.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
And one of the things, if you weren't watching this on let me grab that. If you weren't watching this, or basically you say, you know what, I want to go ahead and get into this by the end of the day, I would just take the high here, and I would bounce it back down to the lows. That's about a 3.37 low. Drop it just a little bit further. So if it stayed within 5% of your entry, you'd probably be okay.
Yeah. And personally, I would use today's low as a little bit below that.
Okay.
As the stop.
Yeah. I like, today's low, below the 20, below the, yesterday's low, the other low. Yeah. There's a swing low in there at about 79.30-ish.
Yes.
So if you picked up your stop loss at like like when I put out my alert, my stop I put in at 79.14.
Okay, good. I agree with that. It's a good location. You know if you're right or wrong.
Yeah, we will. I mean, that's without a doubt. Let me pop over to this. And when Steve offered this to me, like a lot of times I do not go and just jump on any trade, but I popped over here to Investor Business Daily. And again, I am a subscriber, a longtime subscriber. I lead a meetup group for Investor Business Daily called the Bay Area Moneymakers. We're meeting tomorrow at 9:00 Pacific time. It's based out of San Jose. But I immediately came over here and I typed in HOLX in this number. The composite, the stock checkup came up, and guess what? HOLX, top of the list for this particular industry group. What is this industry group? It is basically develops imaging systems and diagnostics and surgical products focused on the healthcare needs of women. And so that's pretty cool. And then I also went down here. So it's almost at 100% composite rating. What about the group itself? Out of the 197 industry groups, it ranks 32nd. Yeah. So it's in the top third. So that in itself says, hey, this is a stock that may go on a really nice run. But I check there first. If somebody anybody gives me any stock, I'm not that familiar with it, I'll drop it in there. If it doesn't meet the IBD criteria for being a great fundamentally strong stock, guess what? I pass on it. Isn't that right, Jeff? Jeff sent us a really good stock to review this. Anyway, hey, let's take a real quick look. What kind of a move up might we get here? And I've done that already. Is basically if I took this low here, this high here, projected it then up from here, if we get a symmetry type run, price action from an entry about here should take us up to about $92.75, $93. And that's the projected up doing some of the fundamental longer term. If you're in this for a longer term, you could actually go back all the way to here, to this price action over here. And from that price action to the current high, or to the last high, was up about 49%. So HOLX, not a fast mover. However, it looks like it could be very, very steady. And it appears as if, no, it doesn't have, it doesn't have any dividends as of yet, but good looking chart, Steve.
Yeah, I agree.
So, okay. Hey, if you're looking for trading either stocks and or ETFs, we've got two different services at Active Trend Trading. It's called Autopilot Trading Combo. You can get in basically top 5 growth stocks. Out of the list I generate from IBD, I come up with 5 stocks that are basically what I call my top 5 growth stocks that are ready to move the following week. And then I do leveraged ETFs. So I have 2 corrals there of excellent trading opportunities. And I would encourage you, and I will put a link down in the YouTube description. And also I'll send out a link when I send out the, so you can watch this particular video. It'll show you basically, last week we did a a Zoom meeting that talks specifically about how to leverage non-monetary assets to build wealth quickly. I am basically really pushing wealth development, wealth building this year, because I believe I'm reaching a point in life where, yeah, I need to get that set into place for the rest of my family. And so these 2 services will save you a heck of a lot of time of doing review and all that kind of stuff. So I encourage you, go watch this. I thought it was pretty good. And then, of course, I am biased a little bit. But anyway, learn how to turn on the autopilot for your trading. So that basically covers it up for today. And Steve, I think we made it 22 minutes. Oh, well. So until next time, I just want to say aloha. God bless everybody. So if you are a premium member, we'll be back online for the final hour. That starts at 12 noon Pacific. And then from our home to yours, aloha, trade well, prosper, and keep sharpening the saw. And if you're joining us on YouTube, and if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe, and you'll get some really great updates. Free training is over there also. And then there's a really good video will come up next that's about how to use Fibonacci's. So until next week, have a great Monday off. Aloha. Steve, thank you so much.
My pleasure, Dennis.
So aloha. God bless everybody.